You're.
Are we back again? Or are we back before?
We're actually back for the first time.
Oh, for the first time.
Hey yo, this is the first episode allegedly of you know what I want to say. Now, too much for me, man. My name is Skuzii. That's Skuzii with two eyes. Hopefully, like your face.
And I am B Burlington, B.Burlington. I almost forgot how to spell my name, but it's okay. We're here, and it's too much for me.
Yeah, they call him B Simone. I'm just kidding. No one calls you.
I plagiarize.
Hello. I forgot about that. Also, too, I forgot to mention this, man, but if you think we're, delicious looking swag daddies and you like what we're wearing and you want to get a piece of that, you can go on the website, man. It'll be in the comments. Don't ask about the octopus, man. But actually ask about it. We do have a website with all this merch for sale that you see. You might not see it. We do a lot of exclusives. It might be there, it might not be there, but I can tell you what, if you want to get
it, you can.
Hello, if you want to get like us, it'll be available. But we're going to talk about something serious and make it very unserious today, and that's grief.
Yeah, actually, grief needs to be talked about more, especially in the Black community.
Yeah.
We don't talk about it enough. We just allow it to occur and manifest into different things, in my opinion.
I agree. And I do want to be intentional about the topic as well, too. On the business level, I dropping a song on April 7th. It's called Good Grief. And it's talking exactly about what we're talking about. And I just wanted to kind of bring that up as like a segue into the actual convo. Because the song itself, I wanted to make something that talked about dealing with these things. And obviously that wasn't the intention. I just started writing. And I was talking about dealing with the death of my good friend, 94, death of our mutual brother, Branford. And then going to the second part, talking about sometimes dealing with grief of yourself.
That's important. I think people don't talk about that enough.
Yeah.
Because grief of self that's one of the hardest things to grieve. And one of the hardest things to even recognize, you know?
Yeah, when you're just going through shit. And then sometimes you just be in it and you don't even notice. And it's just like, sometimes them things, they just build up on you and you don't peep it until it's too late. You just real sad one day. Like, it's just like, and that was the whole point of the song. It's like, and some of them lyrics just hit. It's like, I've been trying my best, but it ain't good enough. Posture fucked up, ain't been looking up. And it's just like, again, sometimes you just get there and you don't even notice you didn't got there. And sometimes one can be the off the back of the other. You know, you might be grieving somebody going through some serious shit. Next thing you know, as opposed to properly dealing with stuff, you just gotta, especially as men and Black men like that.
Yeah,
we're kind of taught like, all right, you don't really, you don't really go through it. It's just like, all right, suck that shit up.
You're not allowed to show your emotions. You're not allowed to say that you can't handle something at the time. Like, the present emotion that you feel when you're going through it is valid. It's a moment. You know you can make it through, but you don't realize that, and no one's telling you can. You know, it's difficult. It's difficult.
Yeah, and I want to be specific, so I don't want us to speak too general because we could do, a lot of people copy and paste TikTok stuff. But are you comfortable talking about your any of your experiences with grief or what you've been through?
I'm with it. Oh yeah, I can start. I mean, me personally, the biggest thing as far as like my grief experience, like I've seen like deaths of like grandparents and stuff like that, but for me, and I'm gonna say this at the time, and I'm rebuilding from there. My world crumbled, and grief really took a hold of me when my father passed. Like, unexpected. It's like bullshit. Like, for me, seeing the most pious, like, I guess pious man. He was very God fearing, serving the church and doing the things he needed to do, and you take this away. You know, it felt for me. That's my grief journey. I'm still going through it now. It's only been 6 years.
Yeah.
But it's not something that you're going to get over. You know, it's life hits you and you don't know it's hit you. And it's like, the crazy thing is, and I guess we'll talk about like drinking and all that stuff later. I didn't drink a lot when it happened. I was to myself a lot. Like my world, like I said, my world crumbled. I didn't know who I was anymore. You know, and I had to rebuild from there. And it took me on a lot of different journeys through life until I became semi-okay. You know? Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, I feel you. And it's like different levels of death. I think it hits you differently.
Oh yeah. Oh,
because
for sure.
I feel like when it's like a parent or a grandparent or someone that precedes you, it's more like, in my opinion, it's kind of like obviously you just generally, you just sad because the person's gone. You have a relationship with a person, you sad because they're gone. But then sometimes like the meaning of it too is just like, well, what does that mean for me?
Oh yeah.
Because like this was like the person who was like leading the charge, someone I look up to, like, and it's like, what does that mean now? And I feel like that's one level of like comprehension. But then there's God bless it, like Branford, Nice. When it's like your peers, it's
Yeah.
and depending on how they died too, it gives you a different sense of understanding your mortality.
Oh yeah. Oh for sure. That's definitely a deeper level with that because when everything happened with that, I couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
It seemed like as far as like Branford goes, it was just like sudden, and now we're here. Like what the fuck does that mean for us? We were like what we were still in our 20s
Yeah.
when that happened. We were still in our 20s.
Oh,
And
that
it's like,
homecoming.
yeah, that was wild to me. And it's like, so where do we go from here? How am I supposed to live my life knowing that life can be taken away from me that fast? You know,
Because we had just spoken to bro not that long prior to
a couple
that.
months before.
Because he had been sick. But again, it's just one of them things where you don't know what that means.
Yeah.
And even if you do, when it
Yeah.
actually happens, it's just like, bro,
What do I do? How do I feel? What am I supposed to like get out of this? Because it doesn't seem right.
Yeah.
Like in my opinion, I thought he was one of, as far as our line goes, he was one of the people that really deserved to be able to live his life in the best possible ways. You know,
He was a good one, man.
I think we all deserve it as a line, but he was a just upfront individual and a very caring and kind and very helpful. And it's like this is gone now. This is snuffed. The person that you think is giving his all to be better and like I guess build up good karma.
And it's funny because like even talking about Branford and like going back, I love this nigga so much because he would still say some foul shit.
Oh, super
but he
foul.
said it in like his little dainty voice.
So nice.
So like I'd be like, yeah, what you think about that? Well, I think that bitch should stop tripping. Like almost like Little Michael like type shit.
No, but dead ass.
Man, I'll slap that nigga if I
It was
have
like
to.
it was so kind how he said it. It's like the definition of killing you with kindness.
Hello?
To be honest with you, it was just like
Bro, I remember we had a gig one time. We was playing for I think high school day at Hampton.
okay,
Which is just it's what it sounds. Well, actually, that doesn't sound like a good thing, but essentially, it's when high schoolers come to the school and they like to get a tour of the school, and they have different events going on. So I got booked to perform. I think outside of the student center, and it was me. I think Bermuda was playing drums. Brian was on keys, and then Branford was playing guitar for me, and. I forgot about this till I heard it because we were doing a cover of Ignition by R. Kelly. At the time, it was cool, and
it was.
I didn't tell him to do this, but he like when we got to the hook because pretty much I would do like a verse and then we do the hook, and Branford would just do these body rolls while he was playing the guitar, and it was funny because I didn't know he was doing them. Someone had recorded it, and I just seen him like it's the remix to Ignition, and then he would rant again. Another thing no one asked him to do was just hella funny. He would say the ad lib. So R. Kelly has a random ad lib where he's like, "Check it out," and it's so random. And again, if you go back and listen, you'll hear it. But I promise you didn't know it was there until now. So it's like I'm coming on a verse I'm like it's the remix to Ignition, hot and fresh out the check it out. But he's doing this shit like mid body roll, and it was funny because I heard that song randomly the other day, and I damn near started crying. But it was funny as a bitch because I was like, nobody told that nigga to do no body rolls.
No one, but he did what made him. He was the most comfortable within himself, as far as people goes at the time.
Yeah.
The most comfortable person you could see just being themselves. You know, if you ask anybody that we know any story about him, it's a story that's akin to that. He was just able to do things that made sense for him, but no one asked him to do it.
And I'll tell you some other funny foul shit, right? Chad, I'm gonna talk about you. I'm not gonna say nothing that you wouldn't be okay with.
Exactly.
But I am talking shit. It's all love. It's all love. So of our it's 7 of us, and it is 7 of us, right?
7 of us.
I know. I always have that fear that it's not what I thought it was. It's like actually,
There was actually 9.
you forgot about Cheney. Like who?
Fuck, Dick Cheney.
Yeah, I crossed the line with you. But the only people that was in town when the news hit was me and Chad. So bros was like, yeah, we're gonna link up at Zach crib, just come kick it. So me and Keith. So at the time it was me, Keith, and Chris, I believe, and Tiff. We was in Tiff's hotel in Theo, and we found out. I'm immediately went and crying hard, right? So like, we gotta be where we gotta be. So me and Keith leave, we go over there, and it's me and Chad. And obviously, y'all don't know Chad. Chad knows Chad. Me and him, not probably the worst two people
Y'all are honestly the worst combination
to have been together at that time.
Oh, for sure.
Because I can be very emotionally unavailable in a situation, and Chad a little too available. So we just
it's like having at the opposite ends of the spectrum,
bro,
for sure.
That's salt and pepper. Not even. That's ice. That's cream.
Like that's sugar and salt.
Yeah, that's ice cream and dirt. Like
who's the dirt?
Me. I'm a dirty boy. Dirty boy. But nah, I remember we was there, and obviously we going through it. Chad more so than me at the time, and my man is just like
he's balling. I know he's balling.
Rightfully so, and rightfully so. I just was not the person for that.
To even add more emphasis
because I don't got nothing to say to you, not even him, to anybody. Like I'm the worst person to have around you.
You're the one who broke the news to me.
Yeah,
over the phone, and he's like, "I'm gonna tell you how it got told to me." I was like, "What?" And you're like, "Yep, I'm going to Zach's. Bye,
peace." Like,
I'm sitting in my sister's basement in the dark at the time. Sad.
Yeah, I'm like, bro, like, just know if I'm your friend, look, if you need the Band-Aid pulled off, call me.
Oh, you definitely will.
Don't call. If you need real, like, just honest advice, I got you. But don't call me if you need comforting. I'm not the person. I'll try. I'll tell you something comforting. If you give me some guidance.
You have to tell him what you need. Pause.
Yeah.
But I can imagine that you two were the worst.
I'm not going to hold you
together.
Literally, like that wasn't like me saying so. I'm physically not going to hold you.
I can just imagine him trying to be held by you, and you're like,
that's pretty much what happened. It was just his head was like, it was bad for your pause. It was literally like, bro was just like, and I'm just like,
get the fuck off,
yo, dead ass. And I'm like, I know I should be there for you right now, but I can't.
I can just imagine you trying to put your arm around him and just like, ugh.
I can't do it, and it's not even just Chad, bro. It's anybody. So shout out to Chad, bro. We all got through. It was a rough time for everybody.
But I think that comes with the uncomfortability that comes with grief.
Oh yeah.
Like I think with me, like to just segue out of it. Mm-hmm. I've seen friends lately who've lost people. Right. Me personally, at work friends, college friends, whatever. And for me going through my grief journey, I kind of treated it like how I treated it.
Yeah.
I got rid of a lot of friends after my father passed. And probably wasn't the most healthy thing to do, but it's what it is. And whatever, sue me, fuck it. I treated like that. I'm like, I didn't like people reaching out and trying to be like, oh, he would be so proud. He would have been, please shut the fuck up. Leave me the fuck alone. It's like, I want people to have the space they want when they're grieving. Because I didn't know I wanted the space at the time, but being uncomfortable in grief makes you act in a way that you're going to find out or figure out what you need in the best way that you need it. You know?
Damn sure.
And that's what happened with me. And I can imagine with you going through grief, you're doing it in your way. You know, if you're emotionally unavailable, that's not insensitive or callous towards the situation. It's just, this is how I feel comfortable because this is very much uncomfortable.
Yeah.
You know?
And sometimes you might be working through it. I know. I actually talked to Tiff about this the other day, like with me. And again, there's no way to practice going through these things.
Never. You're not supposed to.
Yeah, you just find better ways to do it over time, and then hopefully you got a good tribe around you that you can talk to people about it. But I get mission based, honestly. Like when things happen, it's just and it could be a good thing, it could be a bad thing. I don't know. It's just how it is.
It's a distraction.
Yeah, I get very much like, okay, well, what do we need to get done for this person? What needs to happen? Who do we need to talk to? Do we need to get these things together? Do we need to get that thing together? And I notice I have an inclination to like go towards that.
I mean, and it's what helps you help them or help yourself. Because if it's something like if you're a group grieving over something, because I know for us when we were grieving, it was like we were still grieving, obviously, but it's like people. You went over to Zach's. I'm with my sister at their house, but then we ended up coming together. Because we lived together at the time, and everybody came through, and we were like leading up to us leaving. I think we're getting drunk that night.
I was gonna wait, but I was like, that was gonna be my happy turnaround. Was like, so funny story involving.
Oh, it's true.
Someone whose name may or may not rhyme with Teeth Kooks. But we'll say that though.
Yeah, put a pin in it for now.
Yeah,
but you know, it's whatever the distraction is. Because even for me, still. I think my distraction is to just keep living. That's all I can do. You know, with people who end up passing away, all I can do is keep living. Because even after my father passed, my uncle passed, like a couple years later, I'm just like, well, I just got to keep doing what I'm doing right now because it's not insensitive to that person. It's just this is how I feel comfortable right now.
Right.
I'll grieve, but I got to keep busy, you know?
Yeah. And I say what um Nice Death like really, really kind of like shook me up a lot when that happened.
I remember that. I
And
remember that.
yeah, and it's just because it's a difference in like because we all go through what we go through. We deal with death, but it's like when someone gets murdered and everybody's outside, it's a little different because then that's like now you got like a little fear kind of thing
Oh,
going
yeah.
on.
Oh, yeah.
And especially I'm not going out of respect obviously say too much of what it's not public information, which is Nice was murdered. At the end of the day, someone shot him and he died. Um, and this was like again where we all live. We're all doing a lot of the same stuff. We're all outside. We're all being musical. We're all recording and stuff like that. Everybody's kind of tied into the same stuff. And I remember when that happened, I was in the studio and it's crazy because that weekend I had told him, I'm like, hey bro, we working. We was working on I believe Veronica's apartment, or I think we were done with Veronica's apartment. We were working on the next thing. And I'm just like, yeah, bro, come to the studio. He had a busy weekend. He had just got back into society. So he was just like, yeah, I'm gonna be here, I'm gonna be there, but I'm gonna pull up on you. And he just never pulled up. But it wasn't nothing crazy. A lot of times we invite people and they don't pull up. But then Jeff called me and was like, nah, bro didn't make it. X, Y, and Z happened. And I'm just like, damn. Because again, one, you grieving your friend. And for me, it was more, I think it was an existential crisis type situation too, because I always had the most faith in Nice when it came to music. And if you don't know, some of his music is out there, that's probably like the best rapper I've ever met. To this day, he can still rap circles around people from the grave. But
Respect.
and I did my due diligence as his friend and his brother to make sure like I kept him in as much positive stuff as I could. I brought him around school if it was events I was doing, gigs and stuff. We all went to New York together. I did as much as I could on my part as far as like always keeping bro active and stuff because it's just because he was so dope and I was just like, damn, I just really want bro to dive into his rap more and take it more serious. And every time we talk, it was more like, I'm doing this, I'm getting to that. And then to me, I was like, oh nah, you can get all this shit snatched away from you like that. And
Oh,
again,
quick,
it's not like he
unfortunately.
was it's not like he was sick or he like saw his mortality where it was just like, okay, I only got so much time. Bro probably thought he had all the time in the world. And that shit get snatched so fucking quick. And then to me, just the manner of murder is so traumatizing just to know like when you get down to the gritty details of it of like to know that you suffering the way that you suffer and it's by yourself and the way that it happened it's horrifying to think that like that even happened to a person. If you've been in situations like that, it's already scary. Like throw all that gangster shit out the window. That's scary. Like someone is trying to take your life, like someone's chasing you or someone's doing something to take your life. That is
And they
horrifying.
can either be as successful as they can or not at all. But you can't keep cheating. Unfortunately, cheating death to speak on that.
Yeah, and that scared me more than anything, having those realizations, and that's why I do my best to try to keep his memory alive as much as I can, whether it be for music, his legacy, etc. And that's something I'm still, and you know that too, bro. I definitely struggle with that. Like that was one of the things with even going into our conversation about drinking, where it's like that's when you start noticing stuff, and it's like you just get to crying hard out of nowhere.
Yeah, and you don't realize it, and like when you start being sober with things, you really start to dive into your actual emotions.
Yeah, especially when you just do certain things. And that don't gotta be just not any of our fallen family or friends. It's like when you do certain stuff and you're like, damn, I wish such and such was here with me. Or I wish such and such could have experienced
Yeah,
this or
or you could
seen.
have talked some things through with them.
Yeah.
It's like you miss that presence, and it's like, as people would say, you feel their love and their guidance in your heart, and it's from the memories you have. But cool. I have memories, but I need help right now. I need something to talk about with this person who would specialize in this because they know me so well or know something about me that I wouldn't know about myself. You know, that grief sucks.
Yo, I got a sad grief. I got a funny sad joke, right? I don't know if you remember this. So, if you don't know, I love animals, right? I love all types of animals, especially amphibians and reptiles. So, usually, if I find a bushel of frog eggs or toad eggs, I will nurse them to life. So last year I had got a big bunch of eggs, right? And they were like some fat ass tadpoles. And I was doing a water change and I forgot to put the right chemical in them. And unfortunately all the tadpoles passed. And, like a smart person, I put it on Instagram, not thinking no one's gonna fry me up. And this was so foul, but it was so funny. I had said something. I was like, "Y'all, like all my tadpoles died. I'm sad." And the girl had DM me and was like, "Damn, they croaked."
You
I
have
was,
to appreciate a well-placed joke.
I was like, "Yo, I'm about to block you," but that was funny. But I gotta block you off GP.
That's honestly hilarious. Like I remember when you told me about it, I was like, oh damn.
That shit hurt my feelings so bad, but it was funny though. That's a good one-liner.
Honestly, that's one of them jokes that's like, okay, this makes me feel better, but fuck you.
And the funny thing was, at the time, I did not feel like I was in my feelings. I was just like, "Hey, yo, you really thought that shit was?" And which, honestly, in hindsight, because I can appreciate dark humor, that makes it funnier. Because I was wild butthurt about it. Like, oh, so you thought that shit was funny? All right, bet block. Like, yo, but it was funny though. Wait.
I'm sad, but no.
Also, shout out to Goldie the Mac the Frog. He's not with us anymore. I don't think he passed away. That nigga just escaped out of his tank, but he did see life. Yeah. I don't know why I was about to sing the dance. Yo, pum pum bring life. Like, it had nothing to do with it.
It doesn't.
That didn't have nothing
You
to do
felt
with
it in
that.
your heart.
You did.
That's all that matters.
On another funny grief related note, I'm trying to piece together how I want to tell this story because I'm still cool with the butt cheeks person. And I want to figure out what information I'm going to leave out.
Yeah.
Out of respect for them. I'm just going to tell the story because no one, there's no way you're going to know who this person is.
No, facts.
She'll know, but like, so it's all love and respect. Just know no one else knows what I'm talking about. So, that being said, this is the night before we leave for Branford's funeral, right? Mm-hmm. It's me, you, and didn't do nothing bad, so we can say his name. And was just there.
I was chilling.
And then our good friend Tew Kooks. That is a funny name. I'm gonna start calling him that in real life. Like, what's up, Tew?
Tew Kooks.
So Tew, which is even funny because I'm thinking of him teething, like stealing. But anyway, so it's all of us, and I was talking to a young lady at the time, right? She was cool, but was kind of like doing a lot. She would admit this too. So we all getting lit. We leave the next day. Perfect. And we just getting lit. We, dealing with our grief the way that we feel that we
Drinking nasty ass Negronis.
Come on, Tew Kooks. Also, Tew Kooks is very well known for having terrible taste. And it's funny because he has great taste in certain aspects, like cleaning, like body stuff. Great.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like,
Definitely.
certain types of like furniture and stuff. Bro's got an eclectic, great taste. He'll get you to a good bar. But food and alcohol, like as far as his preference, terrible.
It's awful.
Never had a Negroni, never gonna. And again, the funny thing is, I'm pretty sure Negronis are already bad, but I feel like he made it so much worse. Because what was one of the ingredients that he couldn't get it, so he was like, well, we'll just use black cherry syrup.
Like grenadine, I think? I want to say it was grenadine.
And that sounds like
No, it was Campari.
Yeah, that sounds
like it was a lot of
Tew
terrible
Kooks
ingredients.
logic. So, anyways, we got this young lady around. We all kicking it. Everything's cool. And bro falls asleep, and I get this idea. I'm like, yo, you should put your bare ass on his face. Which I don't know where that came from.
It came from grief.
Yeah,
it came from really just wanting something to laugh at because we're going to travel 10 hours to go bury somebody we never wanted to bury.
And if anybody's going to take that L, Teef's going to take that L.
Oh, for sure.
Every time. And that's his fault. He shouldn't have fell asleep. So we had a video of it. Shorty pulled the cheeks out, put it black out directly on his face. Like, nose in the middle. Like, yo, so that was...
It was really bad, but it made me feel very happy on the inside.
So bro wakes up mid-cheeks and just, like, gives her, like, a little slap and then kind of goes back to bed. Funny enough, right? So, developing story. That happens, whatever. We all move on with our lives. We out there, yada, yada, yada.
Mm-hmm.
So, I made a plan and I told everybody, yo, we are driving to Tennessee. If we take the wrong routes, we're going to end up in some really bad terrain and we're going to be in some mountains. So if we find a route, stick to the route.
Yeah.
No matter what the time is, because I guarantee you don't want to be in the mountains at the wrong time just because it's intimidating if you've never driven on that terrain.
Oh, for sure.
So
I think for the most part on the way there, we stuck to the route, but I think it's because we drove
exactly
going there.
Yeah, so I'm like, and the thing is, bro likes to use the Waves app. Now, Waves is cool depending on what you got going on, but it's not going to keep the same route. So I'm just like, bro, just don't use, we don't got to worry about police because we're going to stay at the same speed. Just stick to the route. Bro want to be special. He want to do himself. He think he cool, right? So, we on also random. I'm not gonna tell the story because we already over time. I closed the door in a white woman's face that trip, and that felt so great.
Oh yeah, that was made you feel this love.
So, anywho, we're on the way back, right? And lo and behold, Tew Kooks. Next thing you know, we on like a mountain or something.
Like dead ass, we were in the mountains.
Crazy hills.
Appalachian.
It's dark now. You can't really see nothing. The moon is huge and bright. Pause. Anyways, so I get a message from the person, right? And they're just like, I ain't gonna put too much of their business out. Again, you don't know who it is, but it's relative to the story. But anywho, nothing had went down, so they was just letting me know, hey, the reason nothing's going down is because I got a little situation. Let's just say they had poison ivy.
Yeah, that works.
On their butthole.
Yeah.
So I gotta tell Tew Kooks.
And we're in the car. We're in an SUV, a mid-size SUV. So we're in close proximity.
Yeah, and at the time too, we're not as educated in the matter. We don't know how you can get poison ivy or can't. I just know that you can get poison ivy from other people who have poison ivy. That's all I know. Yeah. So out of respect, I'm like, bro, and I'm telling everybody in the car, I'm like, let me tell you something. This is private information, but I need to tell you because your nose was on the poison ivy. So I'm like, yo, y'all in the car, please be mature about this. And I feel like you was like,
I was not.
Hold
mature.
my beer.
Oh, man. I honestly, so me, I have a very avoidant style of doing things. So instead of like dealing with grief, I'm making jokes. Keith's and Teef is in the front seat driving. I'm behind. I'm in the rear driver's side, cracking jokes because it makes me feel better. I'm just like, damn, bro.
And I'm telling him like, hey, bro, just want to let you know. Now, keep in mind, now that we're a little bit older and more mature and know more about these things, we know that you can't get poison ivy on your nose from what happened.
You don't have to cut it off like Mike Jack.
But we didn't know that at the time, so I'm like, bro, and bro's just like, bro, I got to get checked out. I got to go to the doctor.
I think we still had like 3.5, 4 hours left in the car. That's the worst part.
Yeah, and I'm like, Teef, bro, you can't get poison ivy from putting your nose
I
in
need to get checked.
No, you was like, hey, bro, you definitely got poison ivy. For sure. They're going to have to cut your nose off.
I did actually. I don't regret it. I regret nothing in that situation.
It's like, Teef, you can't drink from my cups no more.
Oh, yeah, we had to give him a specialized cup and everything because it's like, your nose is going to be in the cup.
And the funny thing is, he actually went and got checked.
Which, happy to say, no poison ivy.
Yeah, he told me. I was like, what did the doctor say when you was like, hey, I want to check if I got poison ivy on my nose? Did he laugh like anywhere else? No, just the nose.
What were you doing?
You want to see the video? This has been another episode of Dick and Balls.
Oh my gosh!
It's actually the first episode. I keep forgetting this is the first episode.
It's the first episode. Welcome to Too Much For Me. This is Too Much Grief. We had a great time just, expressing ourselves and being able to talk about how grief makes us feel. I'm B. Burlington. This is Skuzii with 2 eyes. Hopefully like your face.
But not your nose.
Not your nose. Because you might get it cut off. Love you, teeth.
Black bitch.